Well, there's 78 days until the transfer window slams shut. There's going to be a lot of deals done, a lot of rumours fake, and a lot of news right here on West Ham Official. Hope you are all well. One of our first transfer videos of the summer, you bet. We are back. I've actually got a yellow tie here, but I haven't got it on today. Can't quite see it. There it is. I got a yellow tie, but I'm not wearing it today. I might whip it out on deadline day. But as I said, 78 days until that window slams shut. Will Declan Rice still be at this football club? Which players will we bring in? Who will be let go? That's all coming up over the next couple of months. And I'm here to discuss what has been released by X today that's now out there on Twitter in the public domain. So we will discuss it, all of it. It includes Nicola Vlasic, James Prowse, Harvey Barnes, and much, much more. So without further ado, strap yourself in, get ready for some rumours, and we will get it going. We'll start with Nicola Vlasic then. So David Moyes is weighing up whether to allow Nicola Vlasic a second chance to succeed at the club, according to XWHU employee. Now, this is an interesting one because, of course, I didn't think he did too bad in his first spell at the club, to be honest. He didn't really get the sort of opportunities I thought that he probably deserved. He wasn't given, he wasn't allowed the game time as much for him to express himself as properly as possible. I think he scored one goal in his first sort of stint at the club. I think that was Watford away. I think a tap in, if I remember rightly. And yeah, look, he didn't succeed as we all probably would have wanted from a £30 million signing. As you know, in the first time he's gone away, it doesn't look like the team he went on loan to are willing to sign him. So he's going to be back in our hands again. Now, obviously, the decision to be made is whether we keep him at the football club, try and see whether he can improve this time, or sell him on, maybe get 15-20 million for him, sell him to a foreign league, and just forget about the whole situation. Now, with a deal that I've got coming up very soon, which includes Harvey Barnes, I'm a bit reluctant to why I think David Moyes would keep him. I'm going to be honest, we've got a lot of wingers, and if we're going to be adding to that, I'm not sure Nicola Vlasic is involved in David Moyes' sort of conversations about wingers and potential attacking options for next season. For me personally, I believe we'll sell him for 15 million quid and forget about it. Or Moyes might seek redemption and give him a second chance. But for me, my personal opinion is that I think Moyes will let him go this summer to a team that wants him. Now, an interesting one to bring you next is about James Ward-Prowse. Now, he's a player that polarizes and splits fan bases week in, week out when his name is even mentioned on a debate anywhere. I'm not too sure about him. I mean, I think it's unfair to judge him in this Southampton side, especially last season when they were utterly dreadful. Of course, there's two sides of a debate to James Ward-Prowse. And the rumour is X has said an offer could go in soon from West Ham for James Ward-Prowse. Could go in soon is the key words there. So we aren't definitely going to bid for him. I sense a bit of undecidedness, a little bit of, sort of not sure, that element of it. So at the moment, as far as I can gather, we're sort of debating whether to go in for James Ward-Prowse. Now, there's pros and cons for this. I mean, pros is that they're going to have to sell him. He's going to want to leave the football club. He's too good for the Championship, in my opinion. And I think he'd favour, and I don't think he could get in a better squad than West Ham, to be honest. I think he's probably suited to us in a way. And they can't dictate how much they can sell him for, because he's gonna have to leave the football club, and if they get a decent enough bid in, then they are gonna have to sell him. So that may be why David Moyes is thinking, relegation side, we can get him on the cheap. He's a good player, there's no doubt in that. Of course, there's two sides of it. He's just set pieces, or he can impact the game in different levels as well. I'm not sure. I'd like to answer that question about 15 games into a season when he's in a different side. He's been at Southampton a long time. I can't see him staying there into the Championship. Do I want that side to be West Ham? I'd be reluctant about this, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be, it's not one that excites me beyond belief. If we sign him, I'd be interested to see how he does. But, I'm still not too sure whether he'd be able to perform. And of course, it depends on our midfield situation, who we've got in, and who is available as well. So again, another one where I'm not too sure about. And if we do make the move, that would shock me. Next up, we're going to talk about Harvey Barnes. X has said Harvey Barnes is a main target, with him seen as a perfect attacking player for Moyes to get the best out of the opposite flank to Bowen to the left-hand side for us. The club are looking to approach Leicester very soon to beat others to the signature. Now, I'm going to get Chris on from Leicester Till I Die very shortly, hopefully, to to discuss Harvey Barnes, because we had a bit of a discussion about him at the end of last season when we played them, and he seemed to believe that he's not all that, and he's hyped up by other clubs, and maybe not as much as Leicester fans who watch them week in, week out. So again, I'm going to use the word reluctant here, and I'm going to speak to some Leicester fans and see what they think, and see what they, of course, another relegated side, so maybe Moyes is eyeing up a cheap deal for a player that's definitely not going to go down to the Championship. Again, Leicester can't dictate how much he goes for. They're going to have to take a decent offer if one comes in. Well, that decent offer sort of curtails, I'm not too sure. But again, I can understand why Moyes might be testing the waters with this. But we'll get more from a Leicester fan very shortly on the channel on that one. I think it's another interesting one that could go both ways. If we sign him, I'd be quite happy. I'd be quite interested to see what he could bring. I mean, in that Leicester side, was he probably giving us all? Was he probably reaching his potential? I'd say no. In a West Ham side, better players around him, Lucas Paqueta around there as well. Could he thrive and be better? Possibly. Or could he sort of go down like a lead balloon? That is also an option as well. So, none of these players are filling me with huge excitement. But if we signed Harvey Barnes and James Ward-Prowse, I wouldn't be on here ranting and raving and fuming. But I think they are risky signings because I'm not too sure that the quality could be there. Also, West Ham have watched a few other players. Victor Gyökeres is another player that keeps being mentioned by both X and Claret and Hugh. David Moyes has added Coventry's Victor Gyökeres, I think his name is, to his wanted list, seeing him as a natural heir to Mikel Antonio, who looks set to be leaving the club in the summer. And I'm going to talk about Antonio on another day, but potential striker. Many people in the Championship rate him very highly. I'm going to be honest, I've never watched him play football, so I don't really have an opinion on Gyökeres, but he seems to have ripped up the Championship, got very close to coming up to the Premier League with Coventry. Of course, Luton in the end won the playoff final, so I'm not too sure on him. I'm sure people who watch the Championship on a more regular basis could provide probably a better and more in-depth analysis on him. But if we sign him, we haven't been too bad. We haven't signed bad players from the Championship in the past, have we? Jarrod Bowen, he's now a European champion, so I'm not against signing players from the Championship, and I definitely think that's a route that David Moyes will try and opt to go down this summer. Just a bit on Declan Rice at the end as well. I feel like every single transfer video will be involving Declan Rice this summer, but X has said Declan Rice does favour a move to Arsenal. The club expect an offer from Arsenal by the end of the week, with West Ham hoping for a package of around £120 million, with a large sum of this paid up front. Man City are also very keen, so Arsenal will have to get a move on, from our top source XWHU employee. Now, this is an interesting one. It's widely regarded, and Sullivan has told Jim White on TalkSport on a number and several occasions that he's looking for around £120 million for Declan Rice. Now, I'm interested in the Man City side of that as well, because I'm going to be honest, if they go in for him, I'd be surprised. But Man City are also very keen on him. So I would be buzzing if he went to Man City, to be honest. I'd love if he went to Man City over Arsenal. But it looks like Arsenal are currently in pole position, but they still haven't put a bid in. The window's been open a couple of days now. The interest has been there since, I think, January from Arsenal. They still haven't put a bid in. Will Arsenal have the balls to put the money on the table? We are soon going to find out. So to round up what we discussed today, James Ward-Prowse's interest there. Will we make a bid? I'm not sure. Nikola Vlasic, will he return to the Claret and Blue, or will we just get rid of the Croatian winger? And then I was on Harvey Barnes as well. Could he be a potential option as an attacking outlet next season? Of course, with Leicester, who have now been relegated to the Championship, so it could be a cheap option as well. Get your thoughts on all of what we've discussed into the comment section down below. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And we've discussed all the latest West Ham transfer news, and the place to be is right here on West Ham Official. Of course, we had to get our daily dose of Declan Rice in there as well. Man City, could they swoop in? I blimmin' hope so. If he goes anywhere, please make it City. Make it City, because it would just be hilarious to see all those Arsenal fans be in a battle again as they lose out, and hopefully he goes to Manchester City. Of course, I'd love him to stay at West Ham, but if he's to go anywhere, send him up to the Etihad. 78 days left of the transfer window. The door slams shut on the 1st of September, coincidentally the day of our Europa League group stage draw for next season. Plenty of deals to be done. As I've said, plenty of rumours to be discussed. And the players I've discussed today, do they fill me with a load of confidence? No, but do they interest me? Certainly. I think there's some potential there. But can we get them out of these players? Can we get the deals over the line? Will David Sullivan put the money on the table after spending a huge amount of money last summer? All of that, the proof will most certainly be in the pudding. From me, thank you very much. COYI Irons, and we'll see you soon right here on West Ham Official. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. One more year, Deck. I'm going to sit on every transfer show. One more year. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.